Former Bosnian Serb military commando Ratko Mladic is making his first appearance at the International Criminal Tribunal in The Hague. He's facing 11 charges of crimes against humanity and genocide over the massacre of nearly 8,000 Muslim men and boys at Srebrenica and the 44-month siege of Sarajevo. Well, the ABC's Europe correspondent Emma Alberici joins us now from outside the tribunal in The Hague. Emma, good evening. Well, Ratko Mladic has made his first appearance there. What's happened so far?
Well, he was led into the courtroom looking well enough in a grey pinstripe suit and tie. He was read out the 11 charges against him, which number some 38 pages in the actual official document of evidence. And he told the court that he is a gravely ill man and that he would need at least 2 months to read the 3 binders of documents that were presented to him while he was in the infirmary at the Dutch prison here. And so he was very communicative and very cooperative as he spoke to the judge and to the court in general, as everyone was very silently awaiting his very first words since he went on the run, since he became a fugitive in 1995.
Emma, watching some of the coverage, I saw at one stage where, when details of the indictment were being read out, he shook his head. Now, from what you have seen, what has been Mr. Mladic's demeanour and reaction to the indictment?
Well, he was looking quite passive until the indictments were read out, by which stage he then said to the court, "These are monstrous words and obnoxious charges." So it would give you some indication as to his plea. It's highly unlikely he's going to plead guilty. The court has given him until the 4th of July to prepare for this case. He did ask for 2 months, stating that he hadn't had a moment to read any of the documents because he is, in his words, so very ill. But, of course, the court has given him the 30 days that he is entitled to, and not a day longer than that, to prepare himself in these pre-trial procedures.
Further to that statement of illness where he said he's gravely ill, his lawyer and his family have said that he's too ill to be going through this. What bearing at all has that had on the court? What bearing is it likely to have on proceedings from here?
Well, the registrar of this tribunal told us that he spent 4 hours with Mr. Mladic when he first arrived in the Netherlands, and his impression and the impression of the Dutch doctors here was that Mr. Mladic is more than capable of going to trial. He understands full well what's happening to him, and he's very able to communicate. Now, his lawyers back in Serbia said that given he'd suffered a few strokes and was paralysed down one side, that he would find it very difficult to communicate. That certainly hasn't been demonstrated here in court today. But there have been rumours swirling around this case that Mr. Mladic is suffering from cancer and that perhaps he surrendered himself to police, quite in contrary to what the Serbian government have said about their determination to get him here into The Hague. We don't know yet exactly the state of his health. Later today he'll have an opportunity to address the court exactly on that matter of his health and his ability to continue to stand trial.
And what's the legal road ahead here for Ratko Mladic?
Well, the pre-trial activity, as has been seen in other cases here so far, there have been something like 159 people who've fronted this tribunal. The norm is that it would take around a year to prepare for trial, and then another year or 2 until it actually comes to some kind of conclusion. So there's quite a long road ahead, particularly for the victims who've waited 16 years for some kind of justice for the deaths and injuries suffered by the many thousands of people in the former Yugoslavia.
Europe correspondent Emma Alberici in The Hague. Thank you for that update.